It's 1 o'clock. It's the official start of this session. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our specific course about HBO IT software engineering. My name is Rogier Hommels. I'm a teacher within software engineering, and I'm here together with Marianne and Dinia. And Marianne and Dinia, can you also introduce yourself shortly?
Yes, hello, I'm Marianne. I'm a colleague of Rogier and I'm working at HBO IT in Deventer as well. Welcome everybody.
Hello, my name is Eugenia, but officially it's Evgeny, and I am a second-year student in Nashville IT software engineering.
Yeah, and we're all the three of us are often located in Deventer, so we know each other quite well and work well together. I just recorded the session, so that after this session you will be able to rewatch it and maybe get some information that you might have missed to still get it. Okay, so we have half an hour. It's a short amount of time. In order to make it as efficient as possible, if you have any questions, please ask those questions by chat. So I will be opening the chat window here, so we'll be able to see all of your messages, and we will be able hopefully be able to answer them. If half an hour should not be enough, then we'll make sure that we'll arrange something that you can address any other questions after this meeting. So please go ahead. Yeah, one more thing I would like to say. So if Genia is as said a student, and he also did some nice projects. So if you're interested in having a short demo of those projects, you can also ask him, and he can share his screen and show you what kind of things we are actually doing within our software engineering course.
Rogier, maybe it's nice to ask if everybody knows how to open the chat on the right side on your screen.
Yeah. Everybody, do you know how to open the chat? It's on the right side of the screen. It's in the bottom. There's a balloon mark. And if you click on that balloon, there will be a panel on the right side of your screen in which you are able to type in messages. So I'm about to send you a message now. Hi all, and you should be able to do the same, and everybody should be able to see those messages. So the first question is by Raphael, and the question is, I'm just repeating it. How demanding is the course? Do you believe that the part-time work is possible during our studies? And maybe this would be a first for Genia to answer, since Genia is a student. So please go ahead, Genia.
I know several people who work during studies here, but it's suitable for the first year because second year is way harder, and you probably will go into trouble if you try to combine it with studies. So you should decide for yourself. But I know several people who succeed doing their job and studying at the same time.
Yeah, and what we do from an organizational perspective, and that's not the only purpose is for a part-time job, but you will be scheduled one day free in the week where you don't have to go to Deventer to the university, and you can work on projects. But students also use that for their part-time job. So one day in a week you will not have to be within the university premises. Does that give you an answer, Raphael, or do you want to know something more specific? What I can say something more about it, maybe in a general way. The first 2 years of the course, you might know, we are at all kind of subjects which has some theory, but also has to do about learning skills, for instance, your programming skills. And learning to learn yourself to program can be very time consuming, because it's something that you cannot do by reading a book or watching a movie. You have to do it by sitting behind your keyboard and trying and failing often and become better and better at it. And so it's a time consuming process in that for that matter. Yeah, and our education is built up around obtaining those abilities, and also working together a lot in projects. So we have projects where you, for instance, build an application together for your mobile phone, which is something that we offer. And yeah, as you can imagine, that's also time consuming.
Actually, wanted to add that probably you can't learn it from a movie or a book, but you can learn it from YouTube videos and Stack Overflow forum.
Yeah, you can, you say, but then still you have to apply it yourself in order for the knowledge to stick, and to at least that's my vision. Okay, so next question is, I would like to know if the university finds us an internship, or do we have to find it on your own? Yeah, well, we have quite a lot of connections with companies in the Netherlands, and yeah, mostly in the Netherlands, also a little bit abroad. But it's up to you to find and to contact an internship company and to make sure that you're able to do the internship there. So it's your responsibility, and we try to help in any way that we can by introducing you to give you contact persons from within that company. But it's more or less up to you. Yeah.
I think it's like all the studies go here. University give you a lot of tools that you can use, but you should decide for yourself, like where you want to go for internship and stuff like this.
Yeah, yeah. You want a smaller startup company where you might be able to do all different kind of things, or a bigger company where you work on some specialized part of a system, for instance. Yeah, and it's totally based, indeed, what Gina says, on your personal preferences. And yeah, often during the first 2 years, if you might have a clear vision about that already, but often during the first 2 years, you will know what you like, because you will experience all kind of different things. You will be in contact with different companies, and yeah, hopefully after those 2 years, you have quite a clear vision of what suits you best and what interests you most.
And about the question, examples of students in well-known companies. Vadim from the previous year has an internship in Amazon.
Okay, yeah, nice, yeah. Ted, I see your question, and it's I did my high school in Kenya, and I got a grade of B in English. Does my grade qualify for the IELTS score of 6? That is a very good question. Actually, at this moment, I'm not. Marianne, do you know anything about this particular?
Yes, I will answer that question. I think the level is up to B is okay with us. I think you can follow the whole education. Yes, I don't think it's getting any kind of trouble.
Yeah. Okay, Ted, if you want to do me a favor, just to be sure, can you pass me your email address, and make sure that we'll definitely check it 100% sure, because, well, and then I'll get we get back to you with a final answer on that. So you might paste your email address here, or you might send it to my email address, which is which I'm just submitting right now. It's, by the way, for in general for everybody. If your question is not answered, or if you after this meeting you think, Okay. Oh, now I forgot to ask this one. Please drop me a line, and I'll make sure that we'll. Yeah, I'll get back to you. Okay. Thanks, Ted. I noted your email address, and I think Marianne's totally right. But let's be 100% sure. Let's and then.
Yeah, we will check that anyway.
Yeah. Thanks. So in the meantime, there are more and more participants already. For everybody who joined in later, we are doing a kind of Q&A with Genia, Marianne, and myself. If you have any questions, doubts, please submit them in the conversation in the chat, which is located at the right bottom of your screen. There's an option. There's the balloon. And you can type in your question there. If you like to, let's do it like that. Yeah. So we're open for more questions.
Everything is very clear, Rogier.
Yeah.
Oh, very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Anders, Barbara, Ian, Melissa, Michael.
Maybe Genia can show some stuff he made.
Yeah.
We have a hand.
Yeah. Barbara, please. I'm not sure, Barbara, if you can open your, you can type in your question, or you can open your microphone if you like to do that. Please ask us your question. Please tell us your question. Is a semester abroad possible, and do I need to hand in some works with my application? Okay, so I think the question is twofold. If you're talking about the application to become to be enrolled within HBO IT software engineering, you have to follow the regular steps via the website. And at this moment, there are no additional requirements, things you have to hand in to show what you might already can do before starting software engineering. So that maybe that's a good general remark. We don't presume any prior knowledge regarding IT. So if you don't have programming experience, do not know so much about computers in general, for instance, or networks, that's not a problem. We start from scratch in quite a big pace, but we start from scratch. So there's no need to. Of course, you have to have your diplomas and your English at a certain standard, but that's it. So no need to hand in anything for that, and so you will be allowed if you have the required education level. You will be you will be allowed. Just the other part, is a semester abroad possible? Yes, it's possible. But it's more in general in the third year we have an internship which you can do abroad. So that's an internship period is a period of a semester, and you can also do your minor period abroad. So that's so in total that's a year of the studies which you can do abroad. We also have a specialization phase, which you cannot do abroad, so it has to be in the Netherlands within Saxion. But again, for the last parts of your studies, your graduation assignment, you can choose to do it abroad again. So there are possibilities. There. In the meantime, I will make Barbara change it to moderator. Barbara, I changed your role, so probably you can use your microphone now. And in the meantime, if you try that, I will answer the question of at least read out the question for developers. Just curious, how up to date are the courses? Currently doing internship after high school. Just wondering about what type of technologies I would be exposed to. well, very good question, and I think Genia, that would be a good question for you to answer. So, how up to date is this course, and what kind of technologies do we teach and do we learn?
Here we started with Java because it offers a really good environment for new people. It has all the help you can ask for. For example, when you type a command, it will give you some possible commands that you want to use. And you start with introduction to programming. You learn the logic. Then you will, on the second semester, you will go directly into the object-oriented programming. On the third quarter, you will get familiar with Android. You're still using Java, of course. And at the end of the first year, you will be able to create your own Android project. Actually, we had a project playground where we had to create a game in a team of 5 people, I think. Actually, today I can show you the result of this if there will be time.
Yeah, that would be nice to do it, and by the end of this this meeting anyway. So I think it would be nice for everybody. So let's definitely do that, Genia. Yeah.
So Java is a really popular language now. As you can tell, it's the most popular, I think. Android Studio is what you can use as an Android developer, so it's also up to date. And on the second course, we dive into the web stuff. So we learn JavaScript, stuff like React, Node.js. So basically, in the first semester of the second year, you'll be able to create full web stack application. And I can show you again the example of that too. Then mostly the education goes in the course that you got a task and you have to figure out how to do it yourself. And sometimes you can come up with a solution to use completely another environment. For example, we had a project where we worked in a team of 20 people on a real company. And the company gave us a requirement that the program should be able to run on Android and on iOS system. And we decided to go with Flutter. No one knew Flutter, so in one semester we learned how to use it and created a really nice app. And the Flutter is actually very, very up-to-date language. It was created a few years ago, I think. Not language, as environment. The language is Dart that is used.
Yeah, and I think there's also a distinction. So this is really a latest technology, up to date. And as Genia mentioned, we chose for Java in the first year. We could have also gone for another language, but you learn the basics about programming, and you learn it in a way. At least we try to do it in a way that you'll be able to apply it actually to any other language that there is, because concepts between languages and environments and frameworks are often very similar. So we I guess with the Flutter, with the HTML5, CSS, reactive websites, we stay quite up to date with that. Okay, I'll pick it up. What is the graduation rate? I think the first year is the hardest year in that sense, because and I have to be honest, about 40% of the students in general they will not make it to the second year. In the first year, there's you have to get a minimum amount of credits, which is 48. And if you don't get those credits, you're not allowed to continue the studies here, which is very strict. So once you've done the first year, almost all the students who did that will eventually finish this course. So the first year is a very good way to know the level of the education. And by the way, the 40% is not only because level is too high or something. Some students just do not like it, which is possible, of course, or made the wrong choice of the studies, or are not up to the really putting all the hours in there, because I think in general it's a tougher course because of all the work you have to put into it. Are you able to do football training and also be able to attend my classes? Well, I think it's a full-time studies, but the studying is during the normal working hours, so between 8:30 and 6 o'clock. So between there, your classes will be scheduled, and about 50% of the work week you actually have a class, and the other time you're able to manage the time yourself. So if you're soccer training, for instance, in the evening, you definitely will not have a problem. If it's during the day, then it still might be possible, but schedules change from semester to semester. So that depends a little bit. It depends a little bit. If there's on the current schedule, but you have about 20 hours a week in which you have scheduled project hours with your group, or a lecture, or a seminar, a workshop, etc., etc. It would be nice if you could show us an assignment look like, or a project. Well, we'll do that. We'll do that in a few minutes then. So Genia is going to show you. Nice. Thanks for the. Do you know when the semester starts? Yes, our semester starts 26th of August, I think.
24th of August.
24th of
That's
August.
the first day of the introduction.
Yeah,
classes actually starts 1 week later than that.
Yeah. So so the introduction 24th, sorry, of August, and then we start. And hopefully we'll do that in a live manner with the whole Corona crisis going on right now. But of course we don't know that yet. Currently using React Native, Flutter, my internship, loving it, have been programming for many years throughout the high school, personal time, and I'm very comfortable with computers programming our courses, accommodating more experienced students. Nice question. So,
I can tell.
Maybe Gina would be the most honest for you to answer.
I wasn't that experienced when I started here, but I know a few guys who already work, has a real work. For example, Tadas, he's an Android developer, and he was extremely bored during the first year. So it depends what is your purpose. If you want to get a diploma, so probably you will not do much on the first year at all. And on the second year, we started to learn React Native and Flutter. So I'm not sure, like, it depends what you want from the course. If you just want to get a diploma, then probably you can go for it. But the best way will be to have a job and skip classes that you don't need, that you already know, because otherwise it will be a waste of time.
Yeah, and especially I think indeed the first year, as earlier said, because we don't require any prior knowledge. So if you already know how to program, we start with loops and arrays and functions and methods and those kind of things. If you know them, then that would be then you will probably not be too bored there. But then again, there's I think there are we have quite a nice a team of experienced teachers, and they're always up for a challenge for additional work or topics which you can look into. So there's definitely room for doing something on the side to gain more, to learn more on the side. How long are classes in a day? Well, a class is 45 minutes, and in general, a lecture, for instance, which we don't have much, will be 2 hours. So will be an hour and a half in total. Sometimes we have workshops and they are a little bit longer. They can be up to 2 to 3 hours, but I think 3 hours is definitely the max in when what a workshop will take. Yeah, and as said, we'll have around 20 to 22 full hours of classes during a regular week.
Actually, I wanted to say that there are not that many classes that in a university that you have to participate in. The huge part of the work you carry on yourself, so you have to manage your own time to make assignments in time. But overall, like in some quarters, you have only 3 days where you have to be in the university. It's very nice if you have a job or something like this.
Yeah. Hey, and is it common for students to go for a master? Well, common, I wouldn't say, but students do that. For instance, go to a data science master or a computer science master, or students do that. And sometimes they also do their minor period to do a pre-master for the university. So, for instance, our course doesn't have much mathematics in it. And for instance, a data science master or computer science master, you need a lot of math for that. So in that minor period, instead of doing a minor, you do a pre-master for the university, brush up your math skills, and then immediately after this education, you're allowed to do a master. Furthermore, we're also working on a master within Saxion ourselves at this moment, but it's not clear when that will be ready. So there's we cannot say much about it. But yes, it's definitely possible. Common, not that common. A lot of students also start working because they did an internship and a graduation, and well, companies are really keen on keeping getting students on board because there still is a big shortage. So that's also, and some students do the master later on during their career, not directly after. Yeah. Any students who work during studies? Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't able to give you a percentage, but and especially international students also who need where it's expensive, where you have your own room, and they definitely do all kind of work. Some work in ICT as a young IT professional, but also different kind of work just to earn money. I would say. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are there any questions at this moment? How do you examine? Yeah. Well, go ahead.
So basically, there are several types of exams. Some can be done online, but in our course, it's not the usual thing to do. Usually, you go to a room with a teacher who is not related to the subject. It's very serious, so there's no opportunity to to bring some sneaky stuff with you. And with programming, you do it on a Saxion cloud, but within a room, special room with special environment.
Yeah, and there. So that's the way we do the exams. You have to create programs, for instance, do a program exam, and we really look at the source code and eventually give a grade on how well you did the programming part. Or you work on a project together and you have to hand in again the project with some accompanying documentation, and yeah, that will be graded.
The really nice thing is that the section gives a table which specifically tells you how it will be graded each requirement of the course, and what questions the student should learn in the end.
Yeah. So before the course, the module even starts, okay, I have to know this, and this at the end of the course, and also with the percentages where the grade will be based on. Yeah. Okay, let us read the question. Flexibility to complete our projects in other languages. Yeah, if you're talking, Rafael, of course, about computer languages, there are many projects in which you have to make the choice yourself as a team or as an individual. What programming language best suits the current the current challenge that there is. So, for instance, we do quite a lot of projects in cooperation with actual companies, real companies who have a certain they have a certain question that they want to have done, and you're open for to choose the language that you find most fit for this particular purpose. Yeah, so definitely, yeah.
But you can choose it only from the second year. Or the first year, you don't have an authority to do so.
No. Then you first have to know learn the basic. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We're able to start the semester on person because of the corona situation. I would have held on how it's going to be. Yeah. Well, what I can say about that, at this moment we're doing all our courses online. So the program continues more or less in the same way as it's now. The only thing is we use this Collaborate, what we're using right now, to do, for instance, lectures and aiding in projects and everything. So if you're not able to come to Saxion because, for instance, your country is still in lockdown, I have to be careful. In September, then we have to continue doing this online and maybe doing some offline and online combination. But yeah, we'll and there's not been made an official decision about it yet. It has been till September, so till September, everything online. It should be possible to do the course from abroad. After September, we still have to see. So I'm not gonna give you a definitely yes because I just don't know. But if there are many students who are still abroad, I cannot imagine that we will not do part of the course still online for you to follow. But yeah, I cannot guarantee it.
Yeah, I have to add something, Rogier. In June, when you apply for our study and you want to start in September and there's still the corona situation going on, there will be first an online meet and greet. And then they will explain to you how we will proceed the next study year. Is it online or are you able to come to school live?
Yeah, okay, yeah, thanks. At this moment, it's not possible to visit Enschede. The buildings are closed, and the same for Deventer. And the international, we are situated in Deventer, so it's not possible to visit. We all work from home, students, teachers, so we are not there as well. So we cannot meet you there. Okay.
Oh, now it's the time to show something.
I think that would be a good moment.
Showtime.
So Genia is going to show you just, I think, a first year project, which something that you will be able to create after 1 year of our studies.
Yeah, so it's the end of the first year. As you can see, it's Android Studio, and we wrote. The assignment was to create a game, but the main difficulty was that you can't use any game engine. So basically, you have to create it by yourself completely from scratch. And we were able to do a simple game where you control the submarine, you try to avoid sharks and pick up garbage in the ocean. If you hit the shark, your HP goes down. At the time your fuel goes down, you have to pick up also those oil barrels. And when the timeline reaches the end, you'll be able to go to the shop and pick up upgrades and continue. So in the game, difficulty increases by itself. So every next level will be harder than the previous one. So you can spend money you got from collecting garbage and spend it, for example, on buying HP or reinforce the hull. And you continue. Now sharks hit not that hard. So that's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. So very environmental aware. And to add to that, so we're not The education is not to learn how to program games, but we learn you to become a software engineer, and within software engineering, you will be able to do, yeah, actually any kind of topic. It could be related to game programming, but it can also be related to I don't know, some financial product, or more in a web-oriented context, for instance. So it can be more or less anything, because yeah, if you want to have those basic skills, yeah, it might require some learning, but you can do almost everything.
If you're more interested in React and Node.js, so this is a project from the second year, first quarter. As you can see, we've done some Cypress tests already here, and I have this. This is a full stack application bundled with Parcel, and I already set it up, so we can see it on a local host. Here. So basically it has basic login functions, and it uses cookies. So you see no cookie, but when you log in, I'll create a new user because I don't know any passwords there. So if there's no user in the database, it will create the user automatically. You can see the cookie appears here. And now if you close the window and go back, you'll be automatically logged in. The main point of this website is just to click the button and get the number rising. Then you can see yourself in Hall of Fame here. I think we have a question.
Yeah. More questions. Are Internships with the technology like GraphQL? I'm not 100% sure what GraphQL is. It is a graphical database kind of technology. So it's not, yeah, data query language. Yeah, well, you know, it's not at this moment. It's not in our regular program, so it's not something we teach. But as mentioned earlier, if there are some technologies that interest you, you might be able to use it within a project. We actually very supportive of that, for using newer technologies to show and to be able to learn those techniques yourself, but also learn others about the fact that the technique is there and how it works. So we are very open to that within projects or within something that you want to do on the side. Yeah, definitely.
And also in the first year you learn SQLite. Yeah. And there will be an exam where you have to do some tricky queries.
Yeah. And SQLite, which is a structured language, and we also have some NoSQL, so data structured with NoSQL languages, which you be able to learn. List of university abroad you can do online. I don't have
only a few here. There are not many, but a few we can come with.
Yeah. Raphael, for you the same question. Can you post your email address in the chat so we can get back to you on this one? Because it's very specific, and at this moment I don't have it ready. I cannot share it with you at this moment. If you don't want to share your email address here, it's also fine. Send me an email with the question on the email address I previously gave, and this is my email address. And again, yeah, that's for everybody. And if you still have questions, you can use this email address for whatever the question you have. Yeah, great, Rafael, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so
if you want, I can show what we've done on this semester, the third one, and why this course is that difficult. That's the second one, the second course.
Yeah. So, are you interested in another demo, people? Great.
Yes,
yeah,
bring it on.
Thank you for the enthusiasm. Yeah, please do, Gina.
So during this quarter, we had to create our own language. As you can see, this is our grammar. So basically, you'll have to create a language based on Java bytecode. This is a grammar where you can see on real time the parse tree of the language you're creating. For example, in our language, if statement looks like this. So you have a condition. We'll write. I'll make it bigger.
Yeah, a little bit bigger, and maybe also the top screen later on if you show that to make the font. Yeah, great. Yeah.
So as you see, this is a if condition, which is always true. And here you can add some statements. For example, create an integer. Is equal to 0. Yeah. And you can see in real time the parse tree of it.
Yeah. So what Genia actually did is he invented his own language with its own rules, and based on with its own set of rules like Java, but then specifically for Genia, and he's able to actually program within that language, and those statements that he makes, or these lines that he's typing in, will actually be evaluated just like a normal programming language.
Yes, and in my language there is no main method, so you just can start coding right away. But if you want to declare a function, you can do it in any part of the language. So, for example, we want the function that does nothing. It is function. With some arguments, for example, another integer, or can it be string. And you can type some statements here, and then you can just call it like this.
Yeah.
And it will work. This is a grammar rule, so it's no compilers used here, but we have made an actual compiler and code generator. It can be a little bit tricky to show how it works, but for example, this is an array in our language, and I can show you how bytecode is generated. And we got this bytecode, and we'll try to translate it to Java. It will look like this. I can actually do this with the program I wrote here.
Yeah, and this is definitely second year more advanced topic. We don't start with this creating your own programming language. No, it's way further in the third year, in the second year. So
as you can see, functions was created. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can make it a little bit bigger. The font is still quite small there in the editor. Yeah, thanks.
So it's translated to the Java because we use Java bytecode. So our program translates this into this, and this is what Java can actually read, and it translates into Java code like this.
Yeah. And this was quite a tricky one, Genia, to create.
Yes, as you can see, we have a huge amount of tests here that run our programs. For example, final test, it's a huge program over here. And we don't check only the bytecode, but we also check the output there. So I'll show you here the output of a program. It's basically what it prints to the terminal should include the whole array. This is a few filled with numbers, and then the word success for this one. It prints array, and here it prints success. And if we will run the test, as you can see, all tests were run great. And also bad tests that checks that if user inputs something that is not supposed to be there, the program, the compiler will complain and tell, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, maybe you have never seen this before, but what the screen below are all different tests that have been created to actually validate the program, and it's also an important aspect of programming. You can make a program, but it should also do exactly what it should do, and also in unforeseen circumstances. So creating tests to test all, a happy flow and bad flow situation is also very very relevant. Yeah. Okay, nice. Hey, and in the meantime, I see a different question. That is, are there any extracurricular activities? Yeah, there are. We try to. We have all. For instance, we organize guest lectures where a company gives a presentation. It's all, a presentation of about an hour, which you can go to, and it's about a topic of interest. For instance, about testing. That could be a very nice one, even though it's in the program. Sometimes we invite companies and they tell you something about it, and you can join. Yeah, we have a study association. Which you can join, but who also organize drinks and parties, and but also they can you can visit companies with them. Yeah, hackathons, LAN parties. We're yeah, hackathon we did last year, and we'll definitely do it again next year. We have the environment for a hackathon to do it within the university. So yeah, we value those kind of activities a lot. So yeah, we definitely have them.
And also there's a ProAct that organizes different activities for students.
Yeah.
And during 2 years studying here, I was really surprised how well organized those parties are. Really fun way. Especially the last hackathon was.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was really amazing. Yeah. So yeah, so if you're up for it, and if you want to join those things, there's really more to get from the studies than just the study itself. Yeah. Well, the average size of classes about 16 to 18. That's you will be located in one of those classes. Some workshops are with your own class, but classes are also combined, for instance, for lectures. So a lecture can be with two classes or three or four classes. But the class itself is about where you start in if you start in September, you will be with 16 to 80 students who you will really get to know, who you do the intro together with, and learn them well. And yeah, and there will be different, and classes will change during the studies as well. So, but yeah. Okay, is there anything else, people? Well, thank you. Thank you for participating and for your yeah, definitely. Can email for further questions. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Good to hear. Yeah, thank you for your nice questions, and I hope this helped. And sure, please email any questions you might have, and if there are many, we can also set up a different video conference thing where we just go through all these questions by yeah, by video conferencing. No problem. We're happy. We're happy to help. You're welcome.
Very nice audience.
The recording will be placed on YouTube, Marianne, I believe.
I'm not sure if that's the way it should work. I have to ask, but they all have your email address.
Yeah.
Maybe you should type it once more, and then we will contact all those people. When they will send you an email, we can share it with the group. Just add it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's on YouTube for general occasion. I'm not sure about it.
So it is created. It will be created, and please send me a line if you want to have the video, or place it in the chat here, and make sure you get it.
Says you can find these videos later once if you missed them. Okay.
Okay. Then again, if it takes too long, if you cannot find them, also send an email, and we'll send you the link. It's sunny outside, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. Enjoyed this session, and yeah. Well, if this is something for you, we will really be happy to welcome you this September or next September or whenever. Yeah. Okay. Have a nice day.
Well, thank you, Rogier. Thank you, Genia.
Yeah. Thank you, Marianne, Genia.
Thank you.
And talk to you later as well.
Yes.
Have a nice day, everybody.